Hi there, I'm Matt Holland and you're watching Irish Football Fan TV.
Hello and welcome back to Irish Football Fan TV. I'm here with Jonathan. We're in the studio. It's International Week, so we're here with our preview for the Denmark game. I'm quite positive about this game. You know, it's almost a year now. I think it was last November when we stuffed 5-1, and I don't think many people have really gotten over the hangover. Since then, it's been very much doom and gloom in Irish football. We've no good players, we've this, we've that. And coming off the back of that now, we've had Matt Doherty's obviously after coming in and getting the PFA Player of the Month, which is good positive news coming into the camp. We got the likes of Shane Long, James McLean back in for this squad, who obviously missed out on the last squad that played a month ago. But look, coming into it, quite positive. Obviously, the big news is Christian Eriksen's out. He single-handedly destroyed us last time around.
With a little bit of help from Martin O'Neill and his tactics. Look, the only way is up, really, isn't it? After Irish football fell off a cliff, really, on and off the field since that game, that fateful night. There's been, we fell off the cliff for a while, took a little wobble, but I think, as you said, positivity is slowly kind of starting to seep back up again, and a couple of decent results in this window or this round of games, and we could get back on board again. You take Eriksen out of that team, and you'd probably argue that the squads are pretty much on par with each other. You can't really, until that tactical change that allowed him so much freedom. We were quite in the game, and we looked kind of neck and neck with them. So it's a real exciting window, and we actually have a couple of players in form. I don't think you can underestimate Doherty winning Player of the Month, and it's been a while since we've had a player in the Premiership doing so well. You probably actually, ironically enough, go back to Coleman, really, when he was
Martinez.
That kind of season where
he got Team of the Year that year too.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of laughing there as you said it. It's like we're actually going into the game without our best player in Seamus Coleman, and Martin O'Neill came out and said that he without our world class player. Now Seamus hasn't been up to a world class level in the last one. He's been injured though. To be fair to him,
yes.
But going on form in this current situation, and I'm an Everton fan.
Yeah, of course.
I would say that Matt Doherty at this moment in time is playing better than Seamus Coleman. Because Seamus Coleman hasn't started the season very well.
I think we're probably guilty because Coleman, he has been a fantastic, for the last couple of years. There was a period there where he was pretty much one of the best right backs in the league, and probably no disrespect, he could have been playing Champions League football the weekend when he was that good. He has suffered horribly with injuries. They've been well documented how they have gone, and his form has stuttered. I suppose that hasn't been helped really by the club form. No disrespect, but there's been a lot of caveman football, especially under Allardyce as well, where a player like Coleman isn't going to flourish with it. But now you have, like I was talking to a couple of mates the other night, and Doherty is probably one of the most in-form right backs in the league at the moment.
In Europe.
Like, you'd struggle.
Without exaggerating, probably.
You'd struggle because Wolves are playing fantastic football. They've been a breath of fresh air, and you only have to look at some of their performances against the big teams. Even look at the City game. They went neck to neck with City, and they played fantastic football. And Doherty was flying with them. And Doherty, I know he scored last week. There's been games previously where he should have had 3 or 4 more. He's had good opportunities. Yeah. He's been playing fantastic.
It's funny though, ever since Martin O'Neill has said that he gets up to a certain point of the pitch and cuts back. Ever since then, he's just bombed on forward. But he's cut back balls in the opposition's box almost, and he's got assists that won the game.
A couple of assists.
Was it Raúl Jiménez or something? He set him up.
I remember he cut him up. Like that.
He's
run
got a few though. He's so direct. He's exactly what we're missing. Seamus hasn't been doing that for us, but in his defence, the tactics haven't been set up for him to do that.
And that's both in club and international form. Sadly for him, because we haven't got the best out of him. I think if you're labelling Coleman world class, I think unfortunately for the last year or so you're probably clutching at straws a bit.
But he hasn't. He only kind of came back around late December last year. He kind of came back, I think, in and around that time. I think he only started kind of playing even like under 23 games the end of November, almost people are like, oh, well, he might get back for the Denmark game. He wouldn't have made a difference at that time. I know he played that game against Leicester and everyone's like, oh, he's a machine because he finished 90 minutes and stuff like that. It was a beautiful sight. Like, everyone wanted to see Seamus back. Like, and everyone would have Seamus Coleman in there ahead of Doherty either way because he is our captain. But I'm saying we have to now find a way to fit Doherty into that team. Now, I was at the open training session yesterday and a lot of people are very worried that Cyrus Christie is going to get in there ahead of him. Now, it makes no sense. Like, Matt O'Neill came out in his press conference, I was in it, and he was saying, like, obviously, one of the journalists asked, they said, do you basically select players on their club form or on previous stuff that they've done for you? And he said, well, it's actually a bit of both. So that doesn't surprise me in the slightest when you look at the likes of Aidan McGeady and stuff like that.
Team selections by and large.
But like Aidan McGeady for the Denmark game is a prime example of that sort of thing. And I seen some headline about, Whelan for, I think it was off the ball, Whelan for Houlihan situation again. Like that. I don't think it's going to be that situation. I do think it'd be crazy not to put Doherty in there. But if it's a case of you're going to play one ahead of the other, I think that O'Neill's going to go with a back three. We'll talk about our start 11.
Surely he has to go back three.
He hinted at it yesterday, but we'll get on to our starting 11 anyway. But you have to have him as that right wing back. It's that he plays that position.
It's crazy, like the argument that O'Neill had, and it probably was that conference. I heard it, I think, last night or maybe listened to today in work, where O'Neill's he's pretty much trying to make an excuse for himself for not playing him the last while. That's Doherty, of course. He's saying, he's found his best position now. It's right wing back, and he's trying to twist the argument around to his point of view, like that we don't always play three at the back, and that's why he pretty much hasn't played. We have to go three at the back. I think it suits us. We'll talk a bit more.
Well, I do think as well as that, because Enda Stevens very much suits that left wing back position. So we have two players there, Taylor and Reddy, and we are actually, it's our strongest, part of our squad is our defence. We do have a lot of good defenders in there, and even got players from the Championship ready to come in there, like the likes of Keogh and Egan, who are just on the fringes at the moment. Obviously, Keogh's kind of he will fade as time goes on, but he does do well.
In a three, he's perfect. He's extra bit of a safety net, if you want to call it that. And he's a very good leader. But yeah, look, it has to be three at the back for a number of reasons. But Doherty has, I know Christie played right wing, for Fulham at the weekend when they got bummed.
But he was at fault for a lot of the goals.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. You can't, if you're saying form, it's a no-brainer. But look, it's Martin O'Neill at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll do a start 11. We'll have a start 11 show as well, which we'll get into. You can already guess where to with Max.
I wonder who's going to play right wing back.
But just in terms of their threats, I mean, you're looking at their big players will obviously be Kasper Schmeichel, Christensen, but he can't get a look in now at Chelsea. He's not playing at the moment, and he's looking for a way out of Chelsea. And then the player that's in form for him is Poulsen at Leipzig. I watched a game, I think it was last week, where he's got 2 goals. Now he is a big unit. If you get someone like Shane Duffy just on him,
that's why another reason why I think we have to go three at the back. You can get Duffy, you can even get Keogh, whoever is back there. It'll
probably be Clark.
Look, we won't get into it, but you can get another centre half just to be a bit more physical with them, because he is there without Eriksen. He is their goal threat. He is their probably go-to man. If that's probably too much.
Is Kjaer still in their squad? I'm not sure. I didn't read up too much on their squads.
I'm not fully sure.
Yeah, because he's another good player for them, and obviously he's a lot of European experience as well. So he's a very good player. If he's in the squad too, and then Sisto, I imagine he's in and around if he's not injured. But I tried to find their squad. It was actually dead. I got on to Claude as well from Danish Footy to ask him, and he never got back to me. He just said best of luck. So I'm not too worried about them either. And I wasn't really too worried about them a year ago. I do think they just got the rub of the green. I know they had their troubles, and then they went out and they beat Wales and stuff like that. But Eriksen makes them tick. You look at how many goals he scored for them to win them games in the qualifiers. And
he's one of the most informed, definitely, when it comes to creative midfielders in Europe. Really, he's that good of a player. Particularly, I keep going on about it. When you give him that much time and space and open it up for him, he's going to cut you to ribbons.
His right foot's sensation.
He's a quality footballer. And Denmark are definitely going to be weaker without having him involved. And like they've had their own share of issues off the pitch as well. Like they're probably even worse than we have been the last.
Yeah, but they still came out and bet Wales 2-0. You know, so
maybe they can handle it better.
Yeah, maybe, but I do believe that, and John Hartson actually brought it to my attention, is that we just love a headline over here, and we do make the most out of a headline.
There's nothing like a bit of gossip, is there?
Do you know what I mean? I'm actually, you got to remember we have Robbie Brady still to come back as well, and he's one of our best players as well. So I'm not like, even the whole Declan Rice thing, I'm not even really that worried about it. I'm actually was in the press conference, and there was Enda Stevens, Callum O'Dowda, and James McLean were in at one point, and then afterwards Shane Duffy, Shawnee Maguire and Scott Hogan came into it. So there is positivity there. Like last month we didn't have strikers, now we have Sean Maguire's eager to get in there. I watched him train. He scored a header in the match, and the whole crowd were cheering and all, and we're hoping that that's going to be a sight to see going forward. Himself and Scott Hogan were both sitting there saying like they want to take the mantle to be the goal scorer in this team now. You look at Aidan O'Brien, he obviously done well with Millwall. Shane Long's in there. We don't know how fit he's going to be. I think if he doesn't play on Saturday, he'll play against Wales. I don't care what anybody says. People are going on about his goal scoring record, but I do believe you play your best players regardless. And he has to, regardless of who's there up there with him, he has to start if he's fit. In my eyes, he's playing at the highest level against the highest defender. He might not be scoring, but he's definitely
and like he's that whole running the channels. I know it's a cliche with Long, but it makes a big difference. It just stretches us. It allows us.
John Walters came out on Goals on Sunday and said how good he is to have, or was it off the ball, one or the other?
Yeah, he was on both of them there. Yeah, but look, we're a better team. We just need to get stretched, and that'll allow us to get a bit more creativity in midfield, a bit more time on the ball, and just.
But even if Maguire's in there, I don't think Maguire, if he does play, I don't think he'll get long, because he's only played, I think, 20 minutes.
He hasn't played a lot of football. Yeah, he really hasn't.
But if he gets in, I wouldn't be surprised to see him score. I'd love to see him score as well.
Fantastic, wouldn't it?
But this is what I mean. There's a lot of positivity back in there now.
And like it's one of the
people
critics,
forget all this.
Yeah, it's one of the things that really cheeses me off with O'Neill. Like he was asked about the striker situation, and yet he's like, "Oh, what a poor me! What am I going to do? I came in and had to try and replace Robbie Keane." Instead of going, "Look, we've all these exciting options here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Maguire on. I'm looking forward, I've seen a bit more Robinson. Yeah,
forget about him as well.
O'Brien did a good option against Poland. Offered us pretty much more
holding up the ball,
kind of that target man, hold up the ball, an aerial option to let us push up the field, particularly if we do play three at the back. We'll have more time just to play the ball up the pitch. There is different options there, and why not just be positive? There's been enough of doom and gloom, and let's see what these guys are made of and get them all an opportunity in the green shirt.
100%. Look, it's a huge chance to get a result, whether it's win or lose, get a result and get into a good bit of form heading into the Wales games. They're likely to be without Bale. So
yeah, it looks like he's not going to be around again, which is like Eriksen. It's a big omen for us. It's a big advantage for us. Again, there's another on his day, another player that's probably one of the best in the world, and still have little flashbacks from that overhead kick he did in Kiev.
And the goal he scored again.
Yeah, the second one though really just was the kick in the stones, because it was 1-1 and we were just back in the game at the time. And then he does this worldie, and then you see it on the replay again.
I wasn't happy with
you and all the Manx, but you watch the replay and you're like, oh,
it was a serious goal.
You're just like one of those where you go, hoo-hoo. And like he is capable of that. And I know Madrid are a bit of a shambles at the moment, but he probably is almost their go-to guy as well when he comes back from injury. So yeah, like if we can avoid his presence, even just for set pieces and stuff, we're definitely going to be a big advantage in the game.
Yeah. Now, what I think for this game is I think the crowd are going to have to play a huge, huge role. So anyone watching this, and by the way, we have been contacted in regards to the 19th minute. A few groups on Facebook have asked us to let it, I think it's a 1 minute appreciation.
Yeah. Applause, and I think
and chanting only one Oran Tully on the 19th minute of the game versus Denmark. So if it comes to the 19th minute and you hear there's only one Oran Tully, please do get involved. The kid did a lot for Irish football, from League of Ireland to Irish football games. I mean, you can Google him there on YouTube, or you can search him on YouTube, and you'll see some of the work he did. He just done some cool matchday vlogs. He even done a really cool thing for Copa 90 of all the games, which was really good. So you should go and check that out. So, But I just thought I'd make that bit known. But in terms of the crowd, you looked when we played Denmark last time. I think I put a video up of the national anthem, and it was the best national anthem that has been sung.
Because we had hope, we had positivity. The game was on its pretty much in the melting pot then, and then it went.
I do believe there's 40,000 tickets sold up. So I even got tickets for all my mates. So there's gonna be a lot of people there. And as well as that, if you do see us, by the way, we'll be in and around the Ballsbridge Hotel and around that area interviewing fans before and after. So do come over and have a chat with us. Give us your thoughts either before or after. We'd be happy to hear from you, and don't be shy.
Absolutely.
What were you saying?
I've lost my train of thought there. I think I was just saying, we spoke about the crowd and the difference they can make, because look, there's been enough doom and gloom. If they start moaning every misplaced pass, it's going to zap into the life of players. I know you said training was good, but probably at the back of their minds is a bit of, oh Jesus, this was remember the last time we played these. So I think it's important that everyone kind of gets behind the team again, and we've had enough doom and gloom. Let's just try and get rid of park that chapter and move on to there's a good batch of players there now. Let's try and support them. Let's try and move forward and start enjoying Irish football again.
Well, I thought that what McLean said, like he said, you for revenge. And he was like, no, he goes, look, they took away something that we will never get back, and they got to go and play in the World Cup, which was a very, very good, honest, open. I love the way McLean speaks and the way he speaks about Ireland.
And even his comments on Arthur when they asked him, he was like, you'd have to hold a gun to my head to turn down the opportunity to play for Ireland.
Yeah,
you can see.
He also had a little snipe at Jurgen Klopp as well, but it was a silly question in my opinion to be asking him anyway. Like he said, Jurgen Klopp said he didn't think the competition was that important, and then he just said he didn't really care, and they made a big deal about it as usual. But anyway, no, look, positive going into this now. I hope that you guys who are watching are feeding off this positivity coming. I know you are.
Yeah, I know.
But I need you guys to start. we need to get singing from the get go. We want lots of chanting. Get behind the lads, because the only way we're gonna win is if we get the crowd behind us and we make it intimidating for the Danes. They're coming over here without their MVP, so to speak. So we just need to, we have good players in our squad, and we need to really start realising that there's a lot of people saying that we don't have this and that. I think it's just because international football is not played every week in front of your eyes, so you forget sometimes that like there's players like James McCarthy has to come back as well. People will say, oh, he's never done it in Ireland. I don't know what games you are watching, but however, but look, positivity,
good team,
infectious. You just call me Positive Paul from now on. But I think that's been it in terms of a preview. But
this is a big opportunity for us. Yeah, we gotta like, we get good results here, and all of a sudden that's all behind us, and we come on together and we just march on, because I was speaking earlier as well. Like, I'm feeling really positive about this. Hopefully, we won't be sat here next week with the tail between our tails and altogether looking doom and gloom. But this is an exciting time. This is a time for us to put all that crap wrong and move on. And I'm looking forward to the game.
Can you give me a score prediction?
My score prediction, I think we will win. I think we'll have I'm hoping that.
Not that positive.
I'm hoping that we will start nice and fresh. The crowd will get belonging. It'll be one of those kind of atmospheres where everything comes together, both on and off the pitch. 2-1 victory.
I was thinking the same. I feel like Shane Duffy's going to score one from a corner like he did last time.
I'd take that. He definitely knows the eye to goal at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, and on that, lovely top, by the way.
Yeah, nice jacket.
These guys, these tops are going to be for sale soon. We're going to have our own club shop that you will be able to buy merchandise. A lot of people have been asking for it. I'm literally just waiting for the shop to go live. Once it is, we'll let you guys know, and you can buy whatever you want. I'd like to say a special thanks to our sponsors, Halfway Cabs. If you haven't downloaded their app, do so now. It's for Apple and Android. The link is in the bio. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Come on, you boys in green.
Come on, Ireland.